Good morning. Ah! It's a llama or an alpaca or something. Kind of like this two-tone color thing on my face here. Less light than usual because it's a nice dreary day today. And it's the first day since probably 2 weeks ago that I'm getting to work on the musical. I thought I would show you real quick what my workstation looks like. So Cubase Elements is where I make a lot of my music, and it looks a lot like this. So we got our instruments lined up here, and you can mute or solo any of them you want. And they're either WAV files, which you record into it and are audio, which as I've talked about before is harder to manipulate, or you have MIDI, which you can change the notes on the fly with just the arrow keys of whatever it's playing. In this case it's an upright piano, but the names actually aren't usually accurate because what I do is I just kind of, instead of going through the process of creating new instruments, I just duplicate old instruments and change the sounds. But when you're looking on here, you can see the piano and you can see what notes are being played, so you can figure out what the chords are. But it's a different format to get used to when you're writing music, especially when you're trying to figure out, let's say, a 4-part choir harmony. For something like that, a sheet music view is rather more useful. So I bring it over to Dorico to play around with the specifics of the notes and figuring out chords and time signatures and key signatures and all sort of the technical stuff. The third step, once we're to that point, is I will start bringing them back over to Cubase to make the actual tracks, which would not be a step if I was writing an actual musical for live instruments, but because the plan is to submit this for Muse, if and once I get approved for that, I will have to start taking everything that I've written in sheet music form and putting it back into audio form so that I can make the instruments sound good, because those are the instruments the actors will sing with. But that's a problem for a future date. Right now I'm still writing. Would you like to hear what I have? Right now it's very quiet, so I'll have to render it out and play it over the video for you, and it's very rough right now. Hopefully by the end of the day I'll have something else to show you that is more updated and better. In the tangle of the wood, in the morning when it's light, pieces scattered, pieces dappled, life is growing, time is bright. In the peace and in the sun, roots are reaching, branches strained. Time is kind until the falling of the night. Good thing I noticed. Alright, back outside with you. That's it. Alright. Out of the bucket. I need this bucket for water, and you are in the bucket, so unless you want to drown, I will get out of the There we go. Have a fun life. Bye-bye. It's been a productive day. For the sake of practice and getting used to the program, I took the Theory 3 homework assignment that I had made this past semester, and I put that into the computer. So now it can be played computer perfect and look more beautiful. I was able to type this in about 45-ish minutes, still getting used to all the shortcuts and stuff, which exponentially speeds everything up. If you want to see this new, updated, more pretty video of my old composition from last semester, probably put that up on my music channel. Other than that, I'm gonna get back to work on the music for the musical. It's coming along. As I get to know the program better, I'm getting more into the creative side rather than the I know what I want but I don't know how to get it on the page side of things. More to come. Captain's Log, July 10th. It feels like I haven't had a full day to work on the musical in 2 or 3 weeks. It was very refreshing today to get back to it. I spent an inordinate amount of time thinking about what key I wanted this song in that I was working on today, because I'm still trying to get a handle on what's a comfortable range for female singers, especially in terms of belting versus head voice. In the opening number, I'm going forward as if it is an alto soloist singing it, but there is a part in it where the chorus comes in, and it gets up to pretty high, and I wasn't sure if I wanted them belting there or if I didn't mind them going into head voice. and how it would blend with the other voices. So I was texting Autumn trying to figure out where her range is, and kind of what it sounds like is the more important thing, because I can Google what common female ranges are, but like I can't hear it in my head what it would sound like for a girl to sing that note, because when I try to sing it, it sounds like a man singing falsetto. I'll put in a clip at the end of this of the section I'm talking about. Another interesting thing, and you'll hear it side by side, is I went ahead and changed the choral sounds from MIDI choir to woodwind instruments. So like I'm writing parts on stabs that are labeled as choir parts, bass, tenor, alto, soprano. But instead of it coming out as like fake choir sounds, I've set it instead to be woodwind instruments, because I find that the choir sounds are sometimes flat, but even more annoyingly, often behind the beat a little bit. So it's hard to work with them and hear what it's supposed to sound like. So yeah, I changed them to woodwind instruments, and you can hear that difference when you play them back to back. So I'm about to head out to my second job. On Saturdays I work both, and in between those jobs this afternoon, I went on a little shopping spree, and I came back with, among other things, look, Tim 2.0, new apartment decor. I don't even have to water him. Okay, I feel good about this week. It was relatively productive, all things considered. Tomorrow I'm gonna do some mathematical figurings and see if I'm actually gonna be able to afford a car this summer or not. But that's a math problem for a future me. Right now, the only thing I have to worry about is signing out. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.